This is part 2 of How to Fix Power Rangers. I suggest you watch the first part before seeing this. For those of you who have already seen part 1, thanks for your support. Here is part 2. Now, the writing for the Neo Saban seasons has not been the best thing. While I can complain about the unnecessary dialogue and the immature humor, there is one problem that annoys me over the others: the lack of momentum and stakes. When you create a piece of media, you need to try to answer the question of why should your audience care for your product. To give a personal example, I won my school's presidential election because I gave a reason for people to vote: that I'm gonna make JulioCoolio. Yes, that is my slogan. Not only that, but I shared some ideas that were pretty promising and even I want to see happen. Bionicle Generation 2, on the other hand, was a lackluster, extremely cookie-cutter story that failed to captivate old and new fans unlike its predecessor. The toys looked fantastic, but the Netflix show and the webisodes were, well... Over the past 8 years, there's been a drop in attention for people who are willing to watch the show. Everyone was super excited when Samurai was announced, and now Ninja Steel has the lowest ratings in Power Rangers. But why is that? While Samurai for the most part was a direct copy of Shinkenger, it had a definitive story and characters that were at least half interesting. This is coming from a guy who recently rewatched that season, and I still enjoy it just like when I was 9. Megaforce, on the other hand, was a kick to the balls, as Gokaiger had a lot of story opportunities that PR could easily use. Yet they put more effort into naming unadapted Sentai teams than they did getting past actors back. Dino Charge was pretty solid, and for a while people were hopeful that Power Rangers would be great again. However, everything from Dino Supercharged to Super Ninja Steel has been nothing but repetitive, boring filler that tries to blatantly shove morals down your throat. You don't even need to watch half the episodes in order to see the main parts of the story. If I had $10 for every filler episode in the Neo Saban era, I could buy out Power Rangers myself. Filler doesn't always need to be bad as long as it's fun, like an MMPR. But most of these modern filler episodes are just either frustrating or don't amount to anything. Going back to what I said about morals, they worked in the 90s because the kids didn't care about story. They just wanted to see guys in spandex and giant robots fighting. But we live in an age where children's media has become more subtle at delivering its messages while providing an entertaining story. You don't need to see Lloyd Garmadon in Season 8 tell the audience to never give up. You just have to observe the amount of emotional pain he goes through and how he manages to bounce back from it. Seeing how Hasbro has created some critically praised TV shows in the past, I hope they can apply this same magic to Power Rangers. Spies, animal robots, energy, and the future. This is a legend waiting to happen. Hasbro, I ask you to please give us a show that keeps us on the edge of our feet. Give us characters with emotional depth and motivation. Characters who grow as people through their experiences. Show us that actions do have consequences and why we should root for our heroes and what makes them qualified to save the day. My favorite season is S.P.D. because it gave us all those things. We had characters who grew with experience, learned to deal with the harsh realities of life, and most importantly, proved themselves to be worthy defenders of the galaxy even if they were sometimes dysfunctional and considered a backup squad. You have a plethora of amazing seasons to get inspiration from. Zeo, In Space, Time Force, Dino Thunder, RPM, and S.P.D. like how I mentioned. All I ask is to please do what the 2017 movie did. Show us how Power Rangers can be cool, and how it being a kid show doesn't prevent it from being amazing. If I had to pick the biggest failure of the Neo Saban era, it would be how they shaped the perception people have on Power Rangers. I know this comment may baffle you, but think about it for a second. Saban has done nothing but bank on Mighty Morphin nostalgia for the past 8 years. Everywhere you go, it's just Mighty Morphin this, Mighty Morphin that, Mighty Morphin. It took us 5 years to get some glimpse of Zeo. Most people are unaware that Power Rangers is a continuous series, mainly because Saban spent all their money marketing to millennials. When Marvel began their movie universe, they didn't need to mooch off of a recognizable hero like Spider-Man to sell tickets. They instead showed people that previously unknown characters, like Iron Man, could be interesting. And look at that! Iron Man is now the face of the Avengers. Even Guardians of the Galaxy, a movie destined to fail due to a cast of Z-list characters, managed to make people cry about a talking tree. My point here is that Power Rangers hasn't taken any risks in terms of its public image. It has trapped itself in the bubble of the 90s. It's like someone in a midlife crisis trying to act 20 years younger. The past is the past and you need to grow up. That constant reliance on nostalgia is what causes people to joke about the franchise and spit on it. When they think Power Rangers, they think of cookie cutter stereotypes, forced morals, and goofy fight scenes. They don't see some of the better moments of the show, like a noble sage sacrificing himself to rid the universe of evil, a second-ranked police team proving themselves being worthy heroes, or even when a Red Ranger was freaking killed and his ancestor had to take his place. The general public will only see what is presented to them. And if what is presented to them is mediocre at best and cringeworthy at worst, your toys won't sell, you won't gain any new fans, and your ratings will drop. Going back to Iron Man, Marvel could just rely on him alone to sell a movie. They could easily bank on how big of a character he has become. But Marvel has taken risks by exposing the public to characters they probably could never think of existing. Captain America, Bucky, Loki, Killmonger, Doctor Strange, and Thanos are just an example of obscure characters Marvel has made the public care about because they took the risk of showing them something new and interesting. While I'm fine with Hasbro releasing MMPR products along with Beast Morphers, I want to see them remind the public that other interesting teams exist. In my Legacy Figures video, I talked about S.P.D, RPM, and Hyperforce. You have Space Cops, Mad Max, and Time Travelers. That's a lot more interesting than 5 kids getting magical coins. I want Hasbro to get Power Rangers out of its 90s nostalgia bubble, and show people that the franchise's history is interesting no matter what season. They reminded people that Transformers and My Little Pony could be great. So I'm ecstatic to see how they can revitalize interest in Power Rangers the same way. So those are my thoughts on how Hasbro can fix Power Rangers. What did you guys think? What do you want to see Hasbro do with the franchise? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. And make sure to hit the bell icon so that you can be reminded when I upload new videos. Well, I'm Julio, and stay Coolio. Thanks for watching, and may the power protect you.